Hey everyone, welcome back to Geek Strong. In today's video, I'm going to show you some of my recent pickups that I got. Some vintage, some modern. So what do you say? Let's do this! So first off, I'm going to start off with Stridor. Now, everyone's seen this at Walmart, but have you seen it for $5? $5 score at Walmart? I think that's pretty cool. So that's my first pickup right there. Really cool figure. I actually own this already, but I thought this might make a pretty cool gift. You know, for $5, you can't go wrong. So the next figure I have here is Winston Zeddemore from the Plasma series. This is the glow-in-the-dark version. Ghostbusters, obviously. And I am super psyched for the new movie coming out, Frozen Empire. Let me know in the comments, are you going to go see that opening night? I think I might. So he's going to look fantastic with the other guys on top of my vintage Firehouse. So yeah, Winston Zeddemore, definitely good score. So the next item I have here, now if you follow my channel and you know me, you know I am a big fan of E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Definitely my top movies of all time. It's probably within my top 5. You got Star Wars, and I'd say Star Wars Empire Return as like one movie. So Star Wars, Jaws, Back to the Future, E.T. Absolutely love E.T. I do have a pretty good shrine going on for E.T. I do have the NECA version of E.T. dressed up as the girl. But this is the ultimate E.T. This is not the glow version. They had another ultimate where his chest would glow. But this is just a basic figure, ultimate E.T. But this was on clearance for under $20, 1967. So I had to snag it. So E.T. for the win. Okay, the next item I have here, as I said earlier, Jaws is definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. I was at Target the other day and they had a Jaws book, but not just any Jaws book. Little Golden Books Jaws. Look at that. How cool is that? I know it's Funko and it does have Funko style of like Funko Pops, but it's Jaws and this is pretty cool. So it says, this is the book of opposites. So it's big shark, little boat. So Jaws, little golden books. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, we got all the modern stuff out of the way. Now it's time to dig into this box and check out some vintage stuff. And I am super happy to have this stuff. The thing about toy hunting, when you go to like Walmart's and Target, you kind of have an idea what you're going to see, right? You're kind of looking for some Star Wars, maybe you're looking for wrestling, and you have an idea what's going to be out there. And if you're lucky, you'll find the new toy that's out that you're looking for. But for me, when it comes to toy hunting for vintage, you never know what you're going to see. Items that you never knew existed, some toys that you had as a kid, some toys that your neighbor had, your best friend had. So I love hunting for vintage, even if I'm just browsing and I'm not buying. I just love looking at vintage toys. But today we bought, so we have a few items here. Some items that I don't even own any piece in my collection. I never even watched a cartoon. I know of it, but I never really watched the cartoons on some of these items. But let's dig right into this and check it out. So the first item here is, so a while back, was a couple weeks ago, I went to an antique store and they had a G.I. Joe vest from the 60s, right? So I got this for like $4. It's like a kid's vest. Check this out, right? A G.I. Joe vest. So I got this, I think it was $3 to $4, right? I looked online and people are selling this thing for like $200. That's crazy. But I'm happy to have it for $4. What I picked up this past weekend to go with all this is a 1990 Ben Cooper G.I. Joe mask. Now look at that. So I know it all doesn't go together, but I think that's pretty cool. So this, and they actually had some like plastic other weapons like grenades and things like that. But I just got the vest and that little, it's like a brown pistol. I think these items all together will make a pretty cool display piece. So there you go. Ben Cooper and a vest. G.I. Joe. 1960s, 1990. How awesome is that? So the next item is a Batman item, and it is...
Batman! Oh no, Bane is terrorizing the city. How are you and Batman gonna stop him? The 3-in-1 Batjet. It's a jet, hovercraft, and motorcycle. Hear the Batjet fly through the sky in jet mode. Quick, switch to hover mode. That was close. Bane thinks he can escape. Transform into cycle mode. Whoa! Now, head in after him. Time to fire the missile. You lose, Bane. Transform again and take to the sky. Batman. A Batman 3-in-1 Batjet vehicle and 5-inch figures each sold separately.
Well, kinda. It's not complete, but this thing is pretty cool. I saw it was only $5, but look at that. It is part of the Batjet. And it is battery operated, which is pretty cool. And check this out. So when you turn it on, how cool is that, right? So you can stick a Batman figure right inside there. So I think that's pretty cool for $5, and that'll be a fun display piece. And when my nephew comes over, he can play with it too. So Batman Batjet cycle part, we'll call it. But yeah, this is from 2005 from The Batman. I think it was the animated series that didn't do so well, but I think it's a pretty cool piece. All right, the next items I'm going to show you are...
Earth really needs you. Arcane is bad for sure. So come on, fight for right. We need you, Swamp Thing. You are amazing. Oh, Swamp Thing.
Now, none of these are complete, but I still think it's pretty cool. And this is the Weed Killer. Look at this guy. That is pretty cool. So he reminds me of like something from the Toxic Avenger, the Toxic Crusaders, right? Definitely smaller than the Toxic Crusaders. Toxic Crusaders are more like Ninja Turtle style and same size. It's the same Playmates made Crusaders also. But these are pretty cool. And who made these? I think, Kenner made this, right? Let me know in the comments if I'm right or wrong. But I do believe Kenner made the Swamp Thing toys, and this guy's pretty cool. So here we have the Weed Killer, right? We'll go over to this guy, who is right here, and this is Dr. Demo. Look at that. That guy's a beast. So he kind of, Demo or Dino. He's got two E's. You put an A in there, and there I am right there. But this guy's a beast. That is cool. Dr. Demo. And again, a lot of these characters came with accessories and stuff like that. But I don't really have a lot of room on my shelves to display these figures with accessories. I do want to maybe get one complete with a cool like creature. I think some of them had creatures on top of them. I wouldn't mind having that, at least one of them like that. But I like to display them like this. I think it's pretty cool. So that is Dr. Demo with his top hat. And here we have the Swamp Thing. And this is Snap Up. And check this guy out. Look, you can pull his limbs around like that, his arms too, and then you click this button in his back and it all gets pulled back together. So Swamp Thing, Snap Up. That's pretty cool. So I actually already own one of these. I already own this guy, and this guy I own also. And this is Anton let's see, Arcane. I got the notes right here. From the Unmen. So I believe this is the one that came with like a creature that you put on top of them, if I'm not mistaken. But from the Unmen, this is Anton Arcane. This guy, he must be the head baddie, right? Let me know in the comments. Was this like the bad guy, kind of like Skeletor? Not Skeletor, but you know what I mean, the villain for Swamp Thing. But this guy is pretty cool. I love the look of him. So there's that guy. And then this one's pretty cool because this guy only came with the playset, and this came with the Transducer playset.
Swamp Thing rises again to crush evil Arcane's monster maker.
Help! Arcane has got me in his clutches! With my transducer, I can create an army of unmanned monsters! Save me, Swamp Thing! Snap up, Swamp Thing rises to the rescue! Ah!
Can Swamp Thing save him? Yes!
Now for a taste of your own medicine! Gotcha!
Swamp Thing, Guardian of the Earth. New transducer, Snap Up Swamp Thing, Arcane, and Bayou Jack, each sold separately.
And look at this. This is the mutated Mantis. Look at that. That guy is cool. So the only way you can get this guy is from the playset, I do believe. And I would love to get the playset. I would love to get the tree stump with the like the sponge on top, and it has a Venus flytrap. I definitely want to get that playset. That'll be one of my searches at a toy show. I'll definitely be looking for that. But how cool is that guy? I like that. It almost looks like he'd go in the cantina of Star Wars. But that's pretty cool. So that is all the pickups from the Swamp Thing. So the next item I'm going to show you, these are pretty cool. Now I don't have any of these toys in my collection. So this is new stuff to me. I never watched the cartoon. I know of it. This came out in 1984. I was in like 10th grade. So I really wasn't, I was still collecting toys, but I wasn't always watching the cartoons. I collected toys because I liked, to me, toys are like art. It's like buying a piece of a sculpture or a painting. So I've always loved toys, and even though I never watched some of the cartoons, I would still buy some of the toys. But I never had any of these toys, and this is from Voltron. So I do have a few of the figures and a vehicle, so let me show you that. So the first figure I have is Prince Luthor. I do believe that's how you pronounce his name. And this guy is pretty cool. I mean, he is in decent shape. His limbs are pretty tight. But yeah, this guy is pretty decent. I mean, these figures aren't expensive. I looked online. They're like $10 figures, maybe 15 tops. They don't really have any accessories with them. I don't know if they did come with accessories. They may have. But here we have Prince Luthor. Now, don't beat me up if I'm pronouncing the names wrong. The next figure from that line is King Zarkon. This guy is pretty cool looking, I gotta say. Definitely pretty cool. So there is the king. So we had the prince and the king from Voltron. Now the next one, this one does come with an accessory. See if I can find that accessory in here. And here it is. It's like a shield or something. So here it is. The Doom Commander. And yeah, this guy's pretty awesome. Again, not a very expensive figure, but I don't have any Voltron figures, and I think this is a pretty good start. I don't know how many more I'll collect. I pretty much got it for the vehicle. And speaking of the vehicle, here it is. Check this out. This is
Voltron, defender of the universe. King Zarkon orders the conquest of planet Aris. Driven by the villainous Skull Scavenger, the Skull Tank is launched. With blasters aimed, neck and attack position, and eyes ablaze, the Skull Tank fires on the Voltron force. Racing toward the heart of the battle, it's joined by the Doom Blaster and Zarkon Zapper. Is this the end of planet Aris? Can the Skull Tank conquer all? Skull Tank vehicles and figures sold separately.
skull tank. Look at that. That is cool. Now it is missing, I guess, a dome that goes on top of here. I didn't know that. I thought it was complete until I started doing some research, but this thing is pretty cool. These guns go up and down. His head actually pops out like that of the skull, and there is 6 wheels under here, and there's one wheel that has like a rubber band on it, and when you push the car, it makes noise. And this guy's head and mouth, his mouth opens and closes, and his eyes go back and forth, and this is pretty cool. So this is going to look great with my other vehicles over here. So I have the Back to the Future, the A-Team van, I have Knight Rider, and some other vehicles. So this is going to look pretty cool with that. I like it. So the next items here is, this is from Gabriel Toys. Now, I have the Lone Ranger Gabriel toy. I think that's Gabriel, I believe, put out the Lone Ranger toys. Let me know in the comments if I'm right or wrong, but I think I'm right. But I didn't even know that they made these figures here. And this is from 1981. I think that it said it was Filmation. I didn't know they had a cartoon. Let me know, is this a cartoon or is this just like from the movies?
The mark of Zoro! As Don Diego, I pretend to be afraid. But with a mask as my disguise, I ride into the night and raise my sword in the name of justice. For I am Zoro!
Here we have Zoro. So we have 2 figures here, and this guy is, I have to write his name down. This is Captain Ramon. So he doesn't have his accessory. He's supposed to come with a sword and a pistol, I do believe. He does have a holster there, which is pretty cool. But yeah, just like the Lone Ranger, same articulation. So they can sit on a horse just like the Lone Ranger could. And yeah, but these guys are pretty cool. So there is Ramon, Captain Ramon, and here is Zoro. Now, this sword looks great, and it is not the correct sword, but it actually looks really good. And Zoro looks pretty cool too. So I believe he came with a pistol too, because he does have a holster here. But yeah, just like the Lone Ranger, there it is, Zoro. Pretty cool. I didn't even know they made Zoro in this style. I know that they made, obviously, the Lone Ranger, because I have them, but I actually knew that they made it before I even owned one. But I never knew they made the Zoro. So Zoro for the win. I love it. So the last item I'm going to show you, I was actually really shocked when I saw it in the store. Now, as I said, I love searching in vintage shops. Now, I love going to Full Moon Toys and Collectibles. I love going to Collectiques. I love going to the antique store where Back to the Past Collectibles has some great items. But this item, I was at Collectiques, and I don't know if it was there before, but I never noticed it until this past Sunday when I was walking, and I'm looking, and I'm like, wait a minute. I know that figure. That's the figure, one of the figures or parts that I want in my collection. Now, it's not in great condition, but it's there. And to find it in the wild, I was blown away. I wish they had the main toy that came with it, which they didn't. Maybe they have it and they haven't gone through all this stuff, so I'm fingers crossed that they come across and find it. But one of my grill items, and I grew up in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and I remember going to the drive-in and seeing the movie.
Columbia Pictures presents Blue Thunder, a flying arsenal that hears through walls, sees in the dark, and thinks your thoughts.
Wherever you look, the guns follow.
It was designed for war-torn countries.
One civilian dead for every 10 terrorists. That's an acceptable ratio, unless you're one of the civilians.
It was assigned to American cities.
Talking about crowd control from the air?
That's what this special detail is all about.
They told Murphy to test it. They didn't tell him what it was for.
Dozen of these coppers and you could run the whole damn country.
Who was behind it?
Where are we?
Federal building.
Really? Hey, you want to find out what's going on in there?
We certainly do.
Hey, you gotta do me a favor. I want you to pick up a package for me.
Why they chose him?
He's totally unsuitable for our purpose.
Don't stop for anything or anybody.
Or why they changed their minds.
Turn the face over for all five.
I never saw this guy before in my life. Come on, let's go.
Well, not so fast. That's government's property. Give me that!
But when Murphy went looking for answers,
Got all this on tape?
I got every word of it.
If it gets back to me, I'll deny it.
the answer came looking for him. They had the ultimate weapon and the perfect plan, but Murphy stole their thunder.
I would love to have the helicopter in my collection, but unfortunately, I don't have it yet. But who knows, maybe in 2024, I might come across, because 2023 was actually a pretty good Grail pickup for me. I did get some great items. But back to the story. So I'm in the store and I see it, and there it is. Look it. Right here. There he is. Now, I was talking to Super Awesome Geek Show, and he said this is not from the movie, it's from the TV show. But for me, it's Roy Scheider. So there he is, the pilot from Blue Thunder. I can't believe that I found this guy loose. And if you looked at it, unless you knew what it was, you would have no idea what this is. You would think it was basically, I mean, it's not in the greatest condition, but you would pass it off as like a dollar toy, but it is the Blue Thunder pilot. So I think that's a pretty cool score. And as, again, like I said, I love browsing and looking at vintage shops, because this is the excitement that you get when you see something simple like this. Just brings you so much joy. I love it. Hey guys, it's me from the future, and guess what? After making this video, I went over to eBay to see if I could find myself a Blue Thunder, and guess what? They are super expensive. Like, one in the box sells for like over $400. You can find one on eBay right now without a box for like $225, I think it was. That's crazy. I found a broken one on eBay for about $100, and that's still expensive. So guess what? I went over to Mercari, and guess what? I got one for a pretty decent price. Guess how much? If you guess $16 and $7.99 for shipping, you'd be correct. So I will be getting a Blue Thunder, not in the greatest condition, but it's definitely a good placeholder. And my figure, that's a kind of a beater figure, the pilot, they'll actually look pretty good together. So guess what? I kind of got one of my grails. It's not in the greatest condition, but I've been wanting this Blue Thunder for quite a while, so I'm pretty stoked about that. So that's it. That's my pickup. Let me know in the comments, what's your favorite item that I picked up? Do you like modern? Do you like vintage? I love it all. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Do all that good stuff. Remember, we are all Geek Strong. Take care, everyone.